Manchester City, the first top-flight team to get 50 points from their first 21 matches and not be top of the league. Only 3 teams have bettered Liverpool's start to a top-flight season. It's been an incredible start to the season. How much pressure does that put on the teams, particularly the team at the top of the league, Liverpool, who travel to Brighton this weekend?
Well, first of all, you're very educational and got me some great stuff there that I didn't know. That was wonderful.
I read it beautifully.
So, listen, what you're saying is that the standard is phenomenal at the top. Absolutely phenomenal. And then you've got good sides just below that who are waiting to step in and get up there. But these 3 teams, if you try to pick a best 11 out of these 3 teams, it's so hard because there is the quality of the player at the top and the quality of the managers and the quality of the energy of these teams have got. They're different from anybody else. Klopp and Guardiola decided, well, years ago, that we've got to play this type of football. Pochettino's a wee bit different. There's a bit more power on his side, but he's found a philosophy with playing with different systems. But what he stumbled on, what he didn't have a plan on, was having Harry Kane. And I don't know if he was involved in Dele Alli, because I think Dele Alli is now the modern number 10. The old-fashioned number 10 used to float in a hole just behind the striker and no run about anywhere and play in the hole. But what teams have developed over the years is making sure there's no hole there anymore. But the space now is in behind. And I'd love to see how many times Dele Alli runs over 20 yards before he touches the ball and scores a goal, because he knows where space is. He can play anywhere. He doesn't stand in there. So they have this wonderful team. If he drops short, he goes in. Harry Kane can step off and play magnificent passes. And you've got Christian Eriksen. Man United have not got these players yet. They've not got a striker like him. They've not got a number 10 that can play anywhere. And they do not have eyes like Eriksen. So I still think they're one of my favourite teams to watch. I think, because I watch them and think, I'm going to see something different today. I don't know where it's coming, but there's got to be a move on that I'm going to appreciate, a bit like Man City. And I think they've got power as well. I think they've got real power as well. And through that, they're still bringing young men through their kind of system, like Winks and Harry Kane's going through. Another young lad come on the other night there. The fullback, the young fullback who comes on now and then. So I think everything's going right for that team. As a team, as a club, they've got everything going right for them. The other teams, I think, Man City and Liverpool, have taken up that energy level. That Liverpool-Man City game, it was phenomenal. Yeah. You really need to be a player with technique to be in that game, and you really need to be fit, because you didn't have that and that, you weren't getting a game. It was like the Dodgems. You remember the Dodgems all crashing at each other and see who could... They were testing every touch you had. I thought it was a fascinating game, but that's where these 2 managers are taking these clubs.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic run into the end of the season. We always wait till after the festive period to just see how the dust has settled and where the teams are at that stage. It's still so tight between the 3 teams, really, at the top of the table, even having said about the differences that Gordon's put in place. But Liverpool play first this weekend. Now, often you hear players saying that's an advantage, Manchester City not playing till Monday night. Because they're the chasers, is it slightly different this time around, or will they have wanted to get their game underway first?
I think I don't know, my opinion is when you're chasing, I'd rather put the pressure on and win that game. Because I believe it's good to be sitting with the lead and then you're the last one to play, because if they slip up, you can almost not take your foot off the pedal, but you know that you've got a free shot. Not that you don't want to win the game, of course you're going to do the same things, but you know they've already let themselves down. Whereas, like I say, Man City, come Monday, if Liverpool have won, they have to win. If Liverpool don't win, they still have to win anyway. So it doesn't really make a difference for them. Pep Guardiola will prepare his team exactly the same. And like I say, I believe that it's a game that they will win anyway.
What do you think, Gordon? Which position would you rather be in?
Well, I was fortunate to be, or unfortunate at times, to be in that position with Celtic and Rangers, because we never played at the same time. It was all because of the TV schedule. One played earlier, one played it later, one played on the Saturday, one played on the Sunday. And I think I always prefer to be the team out first than sit and wait to see the result.
Set a marker, yeah. Yeah,
I wanted to be that team out and see how it went on. But it's amazing that you go and... I remember drawing somewhere at Dundee United and thinking, oh, that's them going to win. And they got beat at home in Inverness, or drew in Inverness. You think, oh, how did that come about? But I still prefer to be the first team out and put the pressure on somebody. It's like golf. When if you play your shot into the green, Jack Nicklaus always wanted to lay back a bit further, so he'd put you know, the ball on the green first and say, on you go.
Yeah.
I think that's what I felt like that as a manager.
Yeah, you want to be able to put the pressure on the
on you go.
that we're going there and that we're doing it. We are going to be talking a lot more about the transfer window very shortly, but this race at the top of the Premier League table is going to be absolutely fascinating. The teams at the top, and in terms of maybe making changes, you've got a Liverpool side that are going to be taking on Brighton this weekend. It looks as though Dejan Lovren will probably not be fit for this game. They're already missing Joel Matip and Joe Gomez. When you have such a structured transfer policy as Liverpool's looks as though it is, do you take the risk? Do you go into the transfer market?
No, I don't think, because there's too many good players there to bring somebody else. It would be fair on the kid you're bringing in, because he's known, if I get in there, I play a couple of games and whatever. I think it might be a time, if they really think it's long-term injuries, but I think they can go 2 or 3 games, somebody will come back. But I think out of a lot of them, I think Gomez, for me, is the most exciting one. I think he can do the lot, him. I mean, do the lot. Other ones are good players but have faults, but I think Gomez can come through here without any faults. But I wouldn't take a chance, and I wouldn't look to panic either. I would say to my players, we're fine. Yeah. I'll move somebody about here as well. Don't worry about that. I can move somebody to full-back, and then there, I've got so many good full-backs. I'll play one at centre-half. And I think that would be saying to players, I trust you. I trust you.
Yeah, it's not like last year where they had to address the position. It was nothing to do with the injuries. They had to address the position. They were conceding too many goals. They went and got the best that they could get and paid a whopping fee for him. Whereas this January, if they were to go and get someone, who can they get for less than 30 million being Liverpool Football Club? And then you say, OK, then if someone's going to sign, are they then going to be in number 2 behind Van Dijk? And are you going to limit Joe Gomez when he's back? Are you going to limit the rest? I'd say that Joe Gomez is close enough to coming back, I believe, from what I hear. So I think you'd wait it out, and if you can get through a few games with, be it Fabinho or Camacho, who played against Wolves and didn't let himself down, I don't see why you can't.
But also think that being Liverpool and the way it's going on, the way they're structured, I think there's money put aside for players in the summer. So if they panic now, they might not get the players that they really wanted in the summer. So you'll have this player they've got, well, we just got you there because we needed you, and we're getting somebody that's lesser than the player I wanted to buy in the first place. But I think, you know, if you look at Liverpool, they've went, right, that's our targets, we're going to get them. And people went, oh, that's a bit dear. But that's what they wanted. They made sure they were ready for these players.